This is the Wrestling Conscious channel where we suplex some truths, hard truths, in this wrestling streets. Now, from the last few videos, people are getting upset. Some people do not want to see the light. They do not want to see the light. They just accept what they're told and have no critical thinking skills, and that is fine, because this is what the Wrestling Conscious channel is all about. Now, I'm doing the review of SmackDown, what just happened just before Saturday night main event. Now, I just want to say something to you before you comment and say, why are you talking about it? Are you trolling? I do not troll. I give balanced reviews. I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. No one is safe if they are underperforming or not doing anything good. Now, as I keep on saying, if you're doing a 52-week episodic show, you need to make sure that you have some bangers. You cannot just bring The Rock or bring Brock Lesnar and bring John Cena now and then and think this is an amazing product. You have to sustain the product all through rounds, all through year. If this is a legitimate sport, people have off seasons and on seasons, and wrestling is always on. So they have set themselves up for failure when they have this episodic kind of format, and if they're not putting out really good content is king. You guys, biased people, want to always talk about AEW, but when you're talking about the E, you're not allowed to talk about it. You're not allowed to talk about the E. You're not allowed to talk about WWE if they do anything bad. I love Cody Rhodes, I love Triple H, everyone's cooking, I love Tiffany Stratton, I love Rhea. No, we're going to talk about it. And that's what we're here to do. And if you are a fan, you're allowed to have your opinion. If you don't like it, don't watch my channel. If you like what I do, carry on. Well, comment and subscribe. And if you really watch my channel or listen to it, you should know I say good things about wrestling and I say not so good about wrestling. So that's neither here or there. So let me get into it. So it starts off SmackDown with Jimmy Uso and his broken toe. People are doing yeets and he's letting the fans know, listen, I am not my twin. I'm letting you know I want to be a singles competitor. And I was like, oh, this is good. They're going to make it. I'm just naive for Jimmy Uso. I'm just so naive. Because I always want him to really have a singles push. I think he's more charismatic than Roman Reigns, more charismatic than Jey Uso. And I think he's more charismatic than most of the roster. But for some reason, he is always positioned as a lackey. Anyway, he's letting everyone know that he's not joined by the hip when everyone's going yeet, yeet, yeet. I thought this is story time with Jimmy Uso, recapping of what's happened in War Games, Roman Reigns, his brother, and foreshadowing the future. Foreshadowing, which I thought. And he's saying, what's going to be next for Big Jim? Trying to get over with the Big Jim. And I feel like half and half is trying to get over it and half and half getting a midlife crisis. And he said he doesn't know what's going to be next for Big Jim. Well, you should have thought of that before you brought your broken toe and come into this segment, the opening and setting the tone for the whole of SmackDown and for Saturday main event, which is the PLE, which is coming. And then what I liked, he said, who knows, he might as well go for the World Heavyweight Championship. Why not? Because these champions are not championing. I tell you that. When he says that, the Claymore, Drew McIntyre comes to Jimmy Uso, and all my naivety, all my hopes of Jimmy Uso has went down the drain. I was like, no, I thought I knew he was gonna, he's come very, very vulnerable. Yes, I suspend my belief. I knew he was very vulnerable. I knew he was coming. I knew someone was gonna get him, but not like that. Drew McIntyre just claymored him out of nowhere. Anyway. When there's Tiffany Stratton looking festive backstage like a little mini Christmas tree. Nia Jax is there saying when Tiffany wins a championship, she doesn't need a money in a bank suitcase anymore. Candice LeRae is there being sarcastic. I'm sure Tiffy, you'll blow us away. Moving on, Drew McIntyre and Nick Aldis is backstage outside his office. Nick Aldis having a go at Drew, you can't do this, you can't do that. And Drew's just like, whatever. And then Bianca Naomi wants to speak to Nick, saying that, Naomi can step in to replace Jade for the tag team championships so they don't have to lose it. And that made me think, what about Cody Rhodes? No, hold on, let me go a little bit back. Go back. So Nick Aldis wants fighting champions, yeah? What happened to Cody Rhodes? Was he is he a fighting champion? I would not say from his reign from April to now, about 6 months in, he's been a constant fighting champion. He's had matches, but most of them are tag team or silliness. And he's not putting his championship that often on the line. I think he put his championship probably 2-3 times on the line, which is not good. So if you want Bianca and Naomi or Bianca and Jade to be fighting champions, you should do that for your own champions, your heavyweight champions, the top guys, top women. Tiffany and Michin for the semi-finals. Good match. I really thought that Tiffany's going to win because she's so over, but Michin won. Good on Michin because she's been putting on the ring since Min Yin other days, and she's such a good wrestler. But, you know, that's good. But I think Tiffany doesn't even need it anyway because she's got money in the bank. So it's just a wasted match. But I'm glad that Michin got the win. Then there's the DIY video package. And basically it's Johnny Gargano's like, I don't want to be a loser anymore. I have a son, blah, blah, blah. I'm a heel now. And I'm like, I do not care. Moving on, there's another video package. I thought Roman Reigns were actually going to come face to face. I thought Roman Reigns was going to show up to work, but he said, nah man, I'm on this part-time contract, I've got a certain amount of dates, I'll just give you videos, I don't want to be there. So he does his video package saying that he's losing the bloodline, he wants to earn the necklace, Tribal Truth versus Tribal Truth on Netflix in January. But I'm like, you beat him in Survivor Series, why do you have to do this again? Why do you have to do all this type of stuff again? Why is this match important? To get respect, but you had respect from Survivor Series. I thought this was done. Dragging stupidness. I'm just confused. Moving on, Legado Fantasma with Nick Aldis complaining about something. Don't know what they're complaining. And then Carmelo Hayes and Nick Aldis talking about the mystery opponent. And then we find out it's Braun Strowman. And then Braun Strowman squashes Carmelo. I'm upset. I thought there's going to be big things for Carmelo. This is the lesson for you. This is why you watch my last video when I was talking about WWE is dying. You're not building stars. You're not building stars. I think Carmelo Hayes could have a Shawn Michaels career, similar statue, height and all that. Could have a good, good matches, good Shawn Michaels-esque career. But you just squashed him. And this is the thing about NXT and your indie darlings. Your indie darlings. This is what's happening. They do so well in NXT. Like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. You be a main eventer. He's the next best thing. And then when they get on the main roster the first couple of months, you don't establish them and you just squash them like poo. This is what happens. Did that need to happen? What is the storyline to squash Carmelo Hayes like that? Now he's a joke. And you're making him a jobber. Moving on, LA Knight and Byron Saxton is backstage. This just reminds me of like a Rock and Jonathan Coates segment. I don't know why, but it just feels that way. But I love LA Knight anyway. He's the megastar, and LA Knight says the bloodline is not his business. He doesn't care about the necklace, and that was interesting when he said he doesn't care about the necklace. He's kind of like downplaying the necklace. I thought the necklace was the big thing, but interesting, he just was dogging it out, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe that was ad-lib or whatever. Anyway, he puts over Jey Uso in his promo. And they go and have the match. LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. I expected some interference. I was waiting for the bloodline, the new bloodline people like Jacob Fatu to come. That's happened. Blah, 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 blah. I feel like that match was just wasted. Boring. Moving on. Andrades and Apollo Crews come to retaliate and everyone get beat up. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Backstage, Pretty Deadly talk about the musical. What's happening to Pretty Deadly? FYY, what's happened to them? Are they going to have their musical? What's going to happen? I need to know. This is going on for ages. Are they just jobbers? Do they have a storyline? Even jobbers or whatever. Everyone needs a storyline. And Braun Strowman was just like whatever. And then there was A-Town Down Under. Grayson Waller effect. Ask the like the Miz TV kind of thing. It's going to happen next week with Braun Strowman. We'll see. Moving on, there's Bayley and Chelsea Green for the US Championship. And the crowd are really proper behind Chelsea Green and Bayley wins. I'm sorry, scratch that. Chelsea wins. I thought Bayley was going to win, but Chelsea win, which I think is good. I think people are really behind Chelsea to be the US Women's Champion. Then we have the machine gun vignette. I just skipped it because I thought there's like, oh, something happened, rah, rah, rah. It was boring. Something about fight. It's a 5 pump up fist. Boring. Boring. There's your indie darlings. That's what happened. Then there's the vignette. It's Vignette City. Vignette City, I tell you today. Shinsuke Nakamura does his anime vignettes, more of the same as last week, something anime, blah 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 blah. Moving on, Nia and Tiffany backstage. Nia saying to Tiffany Stratton, not everyone's supposed to be single champs like her. Candice comes in and saying like, I got a tag team title shot with myself and Nia against Naomi and Bianca next week. And then as Candice leaves Tiffany, she says a little snide remark like, single wrestling is not her speed. I was like, okay, come on Candice, get more promo time with your purple hair. Come on now, you're indie darling, but you got substance. You got substance. You could be a top girl, because you're a really good wrestler. Just need more character and promo work. Moving on, now we get to Cody Rhodes' final word. How many words does Cody Rhodes need to have with Kevin Owens? From the car, from the back? How many words? They've been dragging this for months. How many words do they need, bro? This is not WrestleMania. How many words do they need? Anyway, Triple H was supposed to give Cody a gift. I don't know what gift. The gift of just him just being champion for far too long. Anyway, Kevin's in the rental car. Then Kevin says that Cody was more interesting as Stardust than he is now. Ooh. And then Cody goes backstage and they get into a brawl. What's interesting is that Cody chucks his championships on the floor, and I thought, is that a bit disrespectful? Wouldn't you put your championship nicely or give it to someone? But he just chucked it on the floor. Anyway, that's sums his championship reign. And Kevin Owen hits him with the championship. Actually, let me go back. They go to have a little backstage brawl. Okay, oh wow, brawl. Go back, blah, 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 blah. Then they go back to Gorilla, go through Gorilla, then they go all the way down to the ring. And then there's officials, they get knocked down, but not knocked down. There's a miscue with some of the producers, the agents and the thing. And then eventually Kevin hits him in the face with the US with the World Heavyweight Championship, whatever you want to call it. And this is, I didn't like this. I give it like 1.5 out of 10. And this is supposed to be before Saturday night. Whatever the PLE. No one cares about this PLE. This is like crown jewel, crown stool. No one cares about this. What hurts it that it is quite close from Survivor Series, but there's no build. No one cares. Everything's rushed. I know, trying to wrap up things before Christmas, but this is supposed to be the warm up towards Royal Rumble, Netflix, and WrestleMania season traditionally after Survivor Series. So I don't know what's going on. If you like my channel, amazing. If you don't, you don't. Please write a comment if you agree. Let me know what you think out of 10. I'm in England, so it'll be yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown. What do you think? Let me know. Come on now. Subscribe, like, it really helps. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of this month. Really appreciate you. Wrestling